Elaine Harding. Welcome to my new look home at www.stampwithelaine.com. I'm so excited as the countdown to the 2020 to 21 annual catalogue begins today. Can't show you the inside, but it will. If you're a customer of mine and you have purchased from me in the last 6 months, a copy of the catalogue will be bringing its way to you. This is the shaker card we're going to be making today, and this is one of the new in colours. I'm going to be duplicating this card with the Flowers for Every Season, Memories and More cards and envelopes. These are all in the new in colours for 2020 to 2022. I'll run through them. They have envelopes to match, and there are 10 cards in a pack, so 2 of each in Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight and Magenta Madness. Because there was only 2 in a pack, I chose to do this out of our ordinary cardstock, and I layered it on a piece of Whisper White to emulate the border here. The Jar of Flowers is a photopolymer stamp set, and it's 1/2 of the Flowers for Every Season suite. There are 9 stamps altogether, but 3 of them are reversibles. This is marked out in grey. So this jar will be the outline of the jar, but on the reverse it's just a solid image. And the same for this half jar, which is the water mark in the jar and a line here. This is bundled with a jar punch to save you 10%. I'm using the 2020 to 2022 in colour DSP. These are 6x6 sheets. There are 2 double-sided designs for each of each design. So this is a wood grain on one pattern and a textured look on the other, and this is the reverse. So there's words and then dots. We're going to be using the Bumblebee one wood grain pattern, and that has been cut at 3 inches by 4 inches, and in metric that's 7.6 by 10.2. Unfortunately, because of the situation with COVID-19, we were unable to pre-order the inks for the new in colours, so I've die cut a letter from the Well Written dies with thanks. I've adhered it to the side here. Tuxedo Black Memento ink, Mango Melody combo, Granny Green combo, Soft Suede combo and Petal Pink combo stamping blends. Balmy Blue ink so that I can put the water in there. We'll also need a domed jar, Mason's jar. These come in a little box like that, and there are 10 in a box, I believe. Also the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo. This comes in a pack of 3. There's a faux linen thread, jade green gingham thread and Misty Moonlight Baker's Twine. We're also going to be using the Flowers for Every Season gems so that we can put them inside the shaker dome. We'll need a scrap of Whisper White to stamp the flowers on, and also a piece cut at 3 inch by 4 inches, the same size as the DSP, so that we can stamp on it from behind. Now we've gathered all our supplies, I'm going to punch out the jar and put it all the way in and punch. Next I'm going to layer the designer series paper on top of the cardstock and secure it with washi tape so it doesn't move, and then take the stamp and ink it up with Tuxedo Black Memento ink I really should have a cushion pad underneath, but we'll just wing it and then stamp through the aperture. Carefully remove the washi tape so that it doesn't tear the DSP. If you're new to Stampin' Up, then DSP stands for Designer Series Paper, which is patterned paper. Let's bring our card back and adhere that to the inside with glue. On the back of the Designer Series paper, we want to put double-sided tape. Take the dome and place this over the jar dome. Okay. Flip it over. You don't want it too tight, you want to give it a bit of give, and then secure that down. And cut off the excess. Then you want to remove the protective tape from the top of the jar. 2 layers of tape. One is for the top and one is for the bottom. Take this tape off and then slip this through. Make sure that this is on the bottom before you press that down and secure it. Now we want to stamp the stems towards the bottom of the jar, and so that's at the top. Now I'm going to use this stamp and I'm going to use the reverse side of it. This side is the lined side. If you touch it, it feels a bit bumpy. So I'm going to mount it so that the solid side is on the top. Bring in my Balmy Blue ink pad and I'm going to stamp off a couple of times. And use the Granny Apple Green combo to colour the stems. So I'll speed this up. I'm going to now put the Flowers for Every Season gems in, just a handful. We could have ordered 2, but I only ordered 1, so I'm going to be a bit more abstemious. Now I'll just put a couple on separately so you can see it a bit better. They're like the frosted gems that we have, and they look like globules of water. Can you see that? So that's basically what I've got in there, and I've turned them round individually so that you can see it properly. Now comes the fun part. We need to remove the backing paper from the jar, and I'm going to start off just the ends. I'm going to lift the ends on the backing paper. I can grab a handle on it, and I'll take that one off completely and then pop that on top and marry it up with the layer underneath. Now I need to tie a bow, so I've slipped my scissors through there to create a gap, and then put enough baker's twine in so to give me room to tie a bow. think I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8 and 5 3/4, because I just realised that if I coloured on this piece here, then it's going to bleed and show through on the back. Because I made this with ordinary Misty Moonlight cardstock, I had to add a Whisper White layer inside. I'll do the same for this. My stamp is already in place, so ink it up and partially stamp. And I'll put this on the Stamparatus because the first time I did it, you see, it didn't come out. I just stamped with a block. So I decided that I'd use the Stamparatus in case the ink didn't come out, and then I can stamp it again. But I'm good to go. That's come out quite well. I'm going to use a combination of Mango Melody, Soft Suede, Granny Apple Green and Petal Pink to colour in the images, both for the inside of the card and for the jar. I'll do that off camera and I'll be back. I've coloured in my images and I've started to fussy cut it, but I put it on pause so that I could show you how to fussy cut if you've never done it before. I realise that there are probably advanced or even beginners who might pop onto my channel to view it, and they won't know what I'm talking about. So fussy cutting means hand cutting an image that you've stamped, and if you don't have a die for it, then you have to cut it by hand. So you angle your scissors at a 45-degree angle and cut from the axis of the scissors, and you move the paper as you are pressing down on the scissors, and you don't want to move the scissors, as it were, you just move the paper. And then you leave a little white border all round it. So that's fussy cutting. Next we'll adhere this to the rest of the card, and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. These are foam pads which raise the image to give it a bit of added dimension. And this is the straight edge, so this is the bottom of the jar, so we want to adhere it to there. I'm going to adhere the die cut letter from Well Written Dies. It's the thanks, and I took the precaution of adhering some double-sided self-adhesive sheet onto the cardstock so that I wouldn't have to glue it and mess around. So there's the letter. Followed the line of the jar to make sure that the letter is straight. And the last thing to do is use the 2020 to 2022 in colour enamel dots, and I'm going to put 3 on, 1 here and a couple down here. It's always best to work in 3s to train the eye to follow it round. And that's the card completed. That's your sneak peek for today. In fact, there's lots of sneak peeks because I've showed you quite a few products from that suite. Thanks for joining me today, and pop back for more inspiration next time. I haven't put the links to the products yet because it hasn't gone live, but I will add them later when they have. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.